Hello, and welcome to another Coach Basics training with Team In It to Win It. Today we are going to be talking about the big scary that a lot of people get freaked out about, myself included, which is inviting. And a lot of teams and coaches will call it inviting, or you may hear it called connecting. Here we will always refer to it as connecting, and even more importantly, we're going to call it connect, love, and serve. Because really, before you can serve people, you have to connect with them and you have to love them. And they have to know that they're safe in that relationship with you before you can even begin the conversation about them becoming a customer, a challenger, or anything that will involve them paying money for a product. So the most important thing to know is there are going to be three questions that anyone that you're talking to or anyone who's observing you on social media is going to ask themselves before they're even going to get into the place where they're willing to talk to you about something. The first one is, does she love me? The second one is, can she help me? And the third one is, do I trust her? And until someone can answer those three questions about you, you really shouldn't be inviting them to do something with you. And I'm going to go through and kind of break down what that looks like and why that's so important in a moment. But really, I want you to ask yourself that question all the time when you're talking to people. And you're wondering, okay, is it the right time to ask them if they would like to think about joining my challenge group? Is it the right time to bring up the opportunity for them to step into taking care of their health and fitness? Well, unless they can answer the question, does she love me? Yes. Can she help me? Yes. And do I trust her? Yes. It's not time to ask them, because every relationship that you're building is important. Every person that you're speaking to is valuable, and every single person is worth a relationship with you, independent of whether or not they become your customer. So there are going to be times where you may feel like, oh, I have to invite 15 people today. I have to send 40 invites today to a challenge group. No, you don't. And the reason is you need to have a real relationship with someone before you can serve them properly. And you need to know about the details of someone's life before you can serve them properly. So let's kind of go through what this looks like, breaking down those three questions to give you more of an idea of what you should be doing day to day. And then I'll give you an example, okay? So the first one is, does she love me? So you've got to establish a relationship that's independent of a sale. You have to have a relationship that's built on love, connecting, being honest, and being vulnerable with someone. Now, some of that is going to come from you sharing yourself all the time on social media, from sharing the hard things, from sharing the good things, from sharing the things that make you a little scared, and just your daily sharing. Some of that is going to open the window for people. I have people that I talk to regularly that tell me, I feel like I know you, but I only know you on social media. That's good. That's what you want. So you're opening the door with that. But the next level is individually having a conversation with them. And more often than not, you are probably going to achieve that through Facebook Messenger. So this is what I would recommend to you. Look at the person's last 15 or so Facebook posts. A lot of people are just sharing content like videos and, memes and funny things. But if you look at about 15, you're going to get a pretty good view of where their life is right now. You're probably going to see stuff about work, if they're married and have kids, about their family, if they're single, about their social life. You're going to go through, they'll probably have posted something about something hard that's happened to them, or a bad day, or something like that. You're going to get a pretty good sense of them. And then send them a message. Send them a message. And it can be really simple. It can be something as simple as, hi, I just wanted you to know that I saw the most recent family picture that you posted on Facebook. Your children are so beautiful. I can't believe how much they've grown. How's your day going? This is so important because seriously, sometimes you can go an entire day or even a few days without someone asking you that question. How is your day? How are you? I mean, I'm married and there are days my husband and I don't even ask each other that question. So you may be a lifeline for someone because people are yearning for connection. They want connection. That's why everyone shares on social media all the time. So ask them those things. Ask them, how are you? And when they respond with something, it'll probably be kind of short. It'll probably be small because you may not know them well. And they might say, thank you, I'm good. And then you ask more questions. You go and you drive it home and you ask more questions. Every time you respond to someone, you should be asking another question at the end. So if they respond and say, "Thank you, I'm good," you might say, "Oh, how old are your girls now?" if they have children. Or, "Oh, I saw that you had a hard day at work. Is everything going okay?" Anything that can continue that conversation. I'm going to give you an example of one that I had recently. I had a girl I went to college with. I haven't seen her since I graduated, so it's 10 years. And she now lives in Denver, so we have a mutual connection because I used to live in Colorado. And she had actually lived there for a few years while I was still living there, but we never met up and saw each other. So I saw that she had gone to a restaurant that I always wanted to go to, and I messaged her and asked how it was. And said, it was a place I always wanted to go. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get there. How was it? And she messaged back and said, "Oh, it was great. It was, really funny and everything I expected and all this other stuff." And then I messaged back, and it could have ended there. It really could have ended there. But then I messaged back and I said, "Are you still working for the place she was working for in Denver?" And she messaged back and said, "No, I'm actually, well, yes, but I'm looking for something different." And, explained a little bit about that. And then immediately she asked me, "I've actually been following you for a while on Facebook, and I'm really impressed with the things that, that have happened, and I want to lose weight as well." And it turned into a conversation about some things that she's looking for. And I'm continuing that conversation now. I didn't bring up joining a challenge group. I didn't bring up Beachbody. I didn't bring up weight loss. Most of the time, you're not going to have to, because most of the time, once people realize that you love them and they can trust you, they're going to bring it up on their own because they want you to help them. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. You need to develop that love type connection with someone first, and that means conversations. And that means conversations that may be long term. That conversation I invested about 4 minutes in, okay, before we got to that point where we started talking about options. There are some conversations that I've had that have gone for a year. I just check in with the person like once a month, and you know what? Now, after a year, they've started to trust me. It's taken a long time because they've had to see me being consistent. There are other conversations that will go, a couple months. There are other conversations that will probably never result in a challenge pack sale. All you need to do is ask yourself, does this person know that I love them? And let that be enough. Let it be enough. But at some point, you're going to wonder, oh, can I invite them to something? And yes, you can. And it's okay to do that. But it's not okay to do it before you can really answer those questions. So once you've gotten to that point where you can say, yeah, they can answer those 3 questions, it's okay for you to put it out there and ask them, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm running this challenge group. It's fitness and wellness support. It can get you set up with a great program. Is this something you might be interested in talking about more? And it will never feel like scammy or salesy or sleazy, because you will know them. You will know what their life is like. You will know what their job is like. You will know what their family is like. You will know what stresses them. You'll know their struggles. You'll know their triumphs. You will know these things. I would not invite anyone unless they bring it up to you. I would not invite anyone before talking to them for a month. And that doesn't mean you have to spend 25 minutes a day, but it does mean that a couple times a week you take a few minutes to respond back and forth and send messages and just ask how they're doing. Because I guarantee it, people need that in their lives. And just by doing that, you are doing a good thing, and you are doing a work of love that is important and valuable to them, even if it never results in them buying something from you. That is okay. The next question is, can she help me? How do they know? You need to be proof the product works, and you need to do it consistently. You should be uplifting and positive and happy in your post. You should be sharing your personal transformation and success, and success and transformation of your challengers. That is something that you'll develop over time, but you need to be consistent about it. And your transformation along the way is the number one thing that people are going to look for. They're going to say, wow, I know Lauren. I've known Lauren throughout her life at different stages. Look at what she's doing now. It's amazing. So you need to be sharing that. The last thing is, do I trust her? Do you have confidence in what you do and what you say? Do you have confidence in the product? Do you have confidence that these things can work? Do you have confidence in your ability to be a coach? If you don't, then you need to do some personal development and get some, because confidence is your number one selling point. It's the thing that takes you from hesitantly asking to confidently saying, I love you. I want to help you. Will you come with me? And that makes all the difference. Follow through with every customer and every challenger. Show up in your challenge groups every single day and be accountable there to those people. You are helping them. You are their lifeline. They need to know that you are there for them. Invite people to free groups and add value to their lives that way. Share posts that add value to their lives. These are all things that build trust with people so they know that you're going to be there. And you have to be consistent over time. This is not going to happen in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. It's going to happen over time as you are consistent and as people know that you are still there and in it for the long haul. And that is so important. Those are all really important things. The most important thing of all is these people have to know that you love them. Even if it's a person you don't know well who finds you through your like page or through a mutual friend, you need to develop the relationship. It's okay if it's a little awkward at first. As you continue investing time in that conversation, it will turn around and you will feel that connection. And truly, from a business standpoint, the more you interact with people on Facebook, the greater the Facebook affinity. So if you're talking to them in Messenger, they're going to be showing up in, you'll be showing up in their newsfeed, and that's important as well. My last point for you is, as you're inviting, the more opportunities you have to connect to people face to face or voice to voice, the better. So schedule phone calls, schedule FaceTimes or Skype or Zoom chats. Go meet people in person if they're local to you. Take the time to talk to them. The more they can look into your eyes and see that you care and see that you trust them, or hear your voice and hear the sincerity in your voice, the better off they will be, because they will trust you and they will know that you love them. It can be hard to do this business all through Facebook Messenger. It's also time consuming. I find that it's much more direct to do a half-hour phone call with someone that I've been talking to for a little while and we're ready to move to that next level than to string that out over 3 weeks on Messenger. So the more personal connection that you can have, the better. So the bottom line is, inviting doesn't have to be scary, because inviting is about loving people. You love people, you help them trust you, and then you serve them with the product and with your coaching. And that's what you do. And every conversation is worthwhile. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you back here for the next training.